What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierfon Orbital. So today I'm going to talk about an install commission that I completed for a customer. This particular install does not have a chassis that was designed by me. However, it does have an awesome chassis in it. This chassis is from C's workshop, and the hilt is the Oggodo Killer from Lukyanov. It has been so long since I have been able to revisit this same install. The same chassis, same hilt. I am a huge fan of both of these products. The Gen 1 Oggodo Killer from Lukyanov is, in my opinion, the best Fallen or Cal Kestis hilt that is available, or that was available. There is a Gen 2 that is now available. However, I think that this first gen is the best. It's my favorite. It's my personal favorite. The chassis that C's workshop designed for this hilt is also a phenomenal chassis. I love this chassis. It's great. A hell of a lot going on in this chassis, and a very great accomplishment by C's workshop, given the amount of space that is in this chassis, or that is in the inside of the hilt. So he was able to get a rotating plasma gate, an upward facing speaker to take advantage of those kidney shaped vents in the center or the midsection of this hilt. I mean, it's just a great chassis. I cannot speak highly enough of this chassis, and it holds a very special place in my heart because I've done a long time ago, 2 years, almost 3 years ago, I did a very unique Oggodo Killer install and project with this chassis. I love this chassis. I love the whole setup. So if anyone can find a Gen 1 Lukyanov Oggodo Killer, I highly suggest it. It is the best as far as like replica wise, as accurate, as far as accuracy is concerned. I love this hilt, right? They're hard to come by nowadays. But anyhow, we're not going to come into fusion. Sorry, we're not going to come into fusion because this is not my chassis, right? But I do want to come up top and talk a little bit about how to use it. We'll talk a little bit about what went into the pommel, because I did do a little bit of pommel work and greebly work for this build. And then we will come back down and do a demo, right? So let's come up top. Okay, so I don't know where to start. I'm going to start with the chassis first. This chassis is just a great chassis. I have not seen anyone else use these connectors. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of this kind of work, right? We do have a brass board cover here. Okay, there are some brass grills alongside the speaker. So this speaker is a very awesome speaker placement for this build, which is kind of like you have to do a speaker up here. Because, well, actually you don't. You could probably put a speaker at the bottom. But I just love where this speaker is because it takes advantage of the holes in the hilt, right? And then, of course, we have a rotating plasma gate around this crystal that is also done in brass. Just a really well-designed chassis, okay? So all of the brass has been weathered at the request of the customer. Let me get this on camera. And that is pretty much it, right? Here is the Oggodo Killer. This is the Gen 1 Oggodo Killer from Lukyanov. I'm just going to say it. I'll probably say it a number of times again during this video. I love this version of this hilt. The broken pommel and broken grip is the most accurate, in my opinion, that we have seen. Even with all the intricacies, and by intricacies I mean small pain points of this hilt, I still think that it is the best, right? And what I mean by that is these shrouds are incredibly difficult to remove, right? So the securing mechanism that holds these shrouds in the emitter is very delicate, and it's a huge pain in the butt to loosen, right? So there are screws inside of the emitter that are pointing on the inside of the emitter that you have to unthread or loosen to remove these for weathering, etc. So, but even though those are a pain or can be a pain, I still think this is the best Cal Kestis hilt out there, right? I'm saying that ignorant of the new one, so I have not held or seen the Gen 2 in person yet, but I do know it does not have this broken pommel or this broken grip, and that is my favorite part of the Gen 1 or Cal's first hilt from the first game. I just love this broken grip, right? So this pommel, I have added some burnt wires, some singed wires, some brass rods. I did this at the request of the customer. Okay, but other than that, this hilt did come to me already weathered. Okay. So let's talk about how to use this guy. There is a ring up here that you can loosen or unthread to put your chassis in place. So another really great thing that I think is awesome about this particular chassis is this MT30 connector, right? I've never seen these used before other than this application. I think it's a great way to use these kinds of connectors, right? So you want to line up that switch that is on the chassis with this external plunger switch here, right? So that is where that is going to go. It's going to go in the up configuration. Push the chassis in all the way up until it stops, right? So you know it's all the way up when it stops right at this kill switch. All right, so let me turn that kill switch on.
Okay. We ran into some trouble on our last job.
So 2020 NeoPixel strip integrated into this build that is right on top of the board. The board is also covered with some Kapton tape. That is at the suggestion of C's workshop, right? So this board cover comes really, really close to the terminals on that board. So just, you know, for safety's sake, it has been covered with Kapton tape, right? And that is it. Once you get your hilt turned on, you can put your grip back in place, tighten that ring, and you're ready to go, right? So there is that rotating plasma gate. I love this hilt so much, you guys. All right. It sounds great, right? So let's come down to the bottom. All right. So there's that viewable crystal chamber. Something that is very unique to Dennis's version of this hilt are these kidney-shaped holes, right? So that not only serves as the obvious crystal reveal, but sound vents through here. And to me, it just sounds so good. It's just a great sounding hilt. I mean, that it just like creates this great resonance chamber. The grip feels good. You guys, I love this hilt so much. I just really, really do. So there's that crystal. There's that pommel. Some light singed wire and rod work in that pommel. Love this hilt. Okay. Let's put a blade in it. So in between these shrouds, there is a set screw. You want to loosen that set screw. This has the blade plug in it as well. Loosen that set screw. Take your blade plug out. This is a 1-inch NeoPixel blade build. So rest your blade on those PCB pins, and then you can tighten your set screw. And you are ready to go, right? I love this hilt. The grip feels great. It's well balanced. Okay. So let's see what else we put on here. So to the customer, you did send me a package, a font package that you wanted on this install. So I was able to oblige. Okay. There is that awesome shine through with that plasma gate. So one of the things that is offered with this chassis kit are guards that go around this crystal chamber. I will include those with this install. I don't like putting them on because I just feel like it looks so much better seeing that full plasma gate. Okay. Let's see what else we've got on here.
Master Yoda. Concentrate all your fire on the nearest starship.
Okay. Let's see what else we got.
Are you a Jedi? I am.
One more.
Ahsoka Tano.
I'm probably going to do like 8 more because I love this hilt so much. Such a good sounding hilt, man. Whoops.
Lord Vader.
Let's get to some cow fonts here.
I am Luke Skywalker. Hello there. Red.
One more.
White.
See, I got orange on here.
Yellow.
Yellow will do too. Yellow and orange are my two favorites from that game. One more.
Magenta.
One more.
Lord Vader.
Great hilt. I love this hilt. I know I said that like 18 dozen times, right? So that is the Oggodo Killer from Denis Lukyanov. That's the Gen 1 Oggodo Killer, rather. By Denis Lukyanov, and the chassis was done by C's Workshop. So, listen, I cannot suggest this version of the Oggodo Killer enough. This is the first gen version. I mean, the new Gen 2s are cool looking. I mean, what is great about them is that they also have steel shrouds, but they don't have that broken pommel. And that is something that I personally love about Cal's hilts from the first game. So yeah, if I could score a Gen 2 with a broken pommel like that, I would definitely, I would love having one, right? And having steel shrouds means that you can heat stain them. But if you can pick up a Gen 1 Oggodo Killer, I highly, highly recommend it. The chassis, unfortunately, C's Workshop is no longer operating on Shapeways, nobody is. Shapeways is gone, but I'm sure that if you reached out to him directly, he could probably set you up with one of these chassis. This is a great chassis as well. So anyhow, that's all. I'm going to stop talking about this hilt and how much I love it. To the customer, thank you very much for your patience. This one's been a long one. I know that we've been working on this for a while, right? There's some travel that I had to do, and we had to wait for printers and all that. So anyhow, thank you very much for your patience. If anyone has any questions about this install or the hilt, please don't be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.